So we are at a dealer auction today during tax time.
All right, Crown Vic, that's a tax time special. Well, try again.
So what does that mean? That means that every car that's sold here today, dealers are going to pay way too much for it today.
So I'm here with Ben, who is one of the auction owners. Yeah, it doesn't cost me more money.
And it costs you more money. It does,
right.
Unfortunately.
Anytime I see a 4Runner, I want to check it. The prices of these things are absolutely insane. All right, so here's what happens. We're at a dealer auction right in the middle of tax time right now. Small used car dealers like myself, what did we just do? We just emptied our lot. We come here, we pay way too much for these cars. So every one of these cars sitting out here at these auctions, they're going to get bid up. They're going to get bid up by a lot of dealers. And I can already tell just seeing here, I mean, you can look behind me, see all of these dealers walking. It's an hour before the auction starts. This is typically not the scene when I'm walking through the auction lot before the auction goes through. There are a lot of dealers right here. There are a lot of dealers that just got a bunch of cash. There are a lot of dealers that just sold a lot of cars. They have empty lots right now. So they're gonna come here and they're gonna pay way too much for all of these cars. All right, we'll check this one out. It's a 2018 Colorado. It's got 57,000 miles on it. Outside body looks pretty good. Looks like this was, this was made to be a little work truck, the white. It's an LT, so it's one of your very, very base models that you can get in this version. Yeah, so outside body looks pretty good for what it is.
All right, here's the Colorado right here. Trying to get $14,000. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's on the money. He's on the money.
Side looks pretty bad. So, you know what? Maybe there's no way that they tried to sell this thing unless they offered it on their lot, and then maybe somebody from service or somebody in management drove it for a while before they actually decided to dump it at auction. It could be one of the situations where they take it out and have it as one of their loaner cars or whatever to someone who works there. I don't know why they would do that with a used car, but we'll check it. We'll see what it brings.
14.1, 14.2, 14.3, 14.3, 14.4, 14.5, 14.6. It's already rolled out. It's going out the door. Still bid on it. 15.5, all the way up to 15.5. Actually, it's at 15.4. 15,400 with a phone call. All right, so I'm here with Ben, who is one of the auction owners here. So it's no secret, tax time is busier. I know for me at my car dealership, we ripped through all of these cars. We sold a ton of cars in the last week and a half. What's the difference between like now and when you have just like regular times through the year? Do you experience a higher sale volume when you're going through tax time?
Yeah, definitely our sale rate's higher. I would say there's some good times and bad times at tax time. We have inventory issues this time of year. We just can't get enough. And because we can't get enough and it's tax time, cars bring more money. So I would say the cars, I don't know, between the cheap cars up to $10,000 probably bring an extra 15% than say in the middle of the summertime. Stuff from $10,000 to $20,000 probably brings another 5 or 10%.
Do you find that that you have fewer no sales, fewer if bids around this time of year?
No, this time of the year we sell just about everything we get. Just a perfect example, our mobile auctions in the last week and a half, 3 out of 4 of those sales have been 100% sales. So we've sold every single car we've got.
Yeah. So it's no secret that a lot of these franchise dealers, they're slower right now. A lot of these manufacturers, they're having a hard time selling cars. That means probably a lot fewer trade-ins, and that's what you guys live on. So how are you sustaining great levels of inventory when the rest of the market might be a little softer?
Well, I would say we're probably down a little bit on inventory, but the difference of selling 80% of 150 cars or 95% of 125 cars is about the same number for us. So it really just comes down to supply and demand. And our sales rates just get higher as the inventory gets lower.
Yeah, it doesn't cost me more money.
And it costs you more money. It does,
right.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's good. I think you guys run a good auction, and I'm ready to see all of these sales, and I hope I don't buy a single thing today.
I think you'll hear sold a lot today.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So we have kind of an interesting dilemma today here at the auction for my business. Alex is here, I'm here, we are spending time here to check out cars today, but with it being tax time, with prices we know are going to be ridiculous, we're not expecting to really buy anything, but we have to check the cars anyway. A bulk of the tax money hit last week, hit a lot of these dealers last week. I can already tell you when I'm walking in here, you can see back in the distance over there, There's a lot of car dealers here, and that means that prices, if I saw this many dealers here just like in midsummer or fall or something, when we weren't going through a seasonally busy time for the car market, then I would even say, okay, you know what, there's a lot of people here, we're probably not gonna be able to buy anything.
Did you know that your personal information, like your address, phone number, even details about your family, is sold online without your consent? Data brokers collect and sell this information, putting people at risk for scams, identity theft, and unwanted contact. That's where Delete Me, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. Delete Me is a hands-free privacy service that removes your personal data from hundreds of data broker websites. Their privacy experts find where your data is exposed, they submit removal requests, and keep monitoring these sites to make sure it stays off. Every user gets a detailed privacy report showing exactly where their data was found and removed. Right now, you can get 20% off all Delete Me plans. Just go to joindeleteme.com/CQA and use promo code CQA at checkout. Don't wait until your data is in the wrong hands. Click the link in the description and start protecting yourself today.
Me and Alex, we had a conversation before we even got here, and we're like, you know what? If you get 2 cars here today, we probably will be lucky. And prices are probably going to be absolutely insane today. Because all these other dealers, they know. They were busy too, and a lot of them need to refill their lot with cars, and they're just going to pay too much. Just about every car that's sold here today, and most of these cars are going to get sold, if not all of them. I don't think that there will be many no sales. There won't be many if bids or cars that don't hit the reserve. They're going to pay too much for them. Yeah, every dealer that's going to buy a car here today, maybe even including me and Alex, is going to pay too much for whatever they buy. Hopefully not us. Hopefully we'll get the 2 that are a decent price, but probably not. All right, and here we go. Anytime I see a 4Runner, I want to check it. The prices of these things are absolutely insane. Today, even more so with it being tax time. 2009, 178,000 miles, 4-wheel drive, SR5. Tires on it look pretty good. Outside looks good. It's a little crusty, Let's look at the frame. Let's see if we can see the frame without crawling under it. I used to crawl under cars for you guys. I'm not doing that anymore. There, yeah, you can see it. You can probably see it better than I can right now. It looks crusty. Just keep that in mind. Look at under the doors. Yeah, that looks fine. A little crust. I know you guys from up north are gonna be like, oh, that's not rust. That's not rust. You've never seen rust. Yeah, that's for North Carolina. That's rust. All
right, here's the 4Runner, 2009, 178,000 miles. Thing should bring crazy money, I would assume. Sorry, 3,000. No, 8,000. Asking for 7,000. All the way down $3,000.
Let's check the inside of it. Actually, inside looks pretty good. Yeah, seats not tore up. Overall, this looks pretty good. This is going to bring all the money and some. Even with it having that little bit of crust underneath, it's still going to be crazy money. But anyway, we'll check it out.
Yeah, there he goes. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. It's rolling out. Still bid on it. Up to 4,200. 43, 44. Every time this guy yelps down there, the floor guy, and he's got a bid. Up to 48, 49, 5,000, 51, 52. I like the way Matt goes back and forth. That's that adrenaline kicking in. We got 5,400 with a phone call. They said that was going to be a phone call before they even ran it, but that's probably a sale.
Another thing that happens this time of year, these are all independent dealers that I show in these 2 lanes right here. Independent dealer means they're not a franchise. They're not a Toyota, Ford, Jeep dealer. They're dealers like me, a small independent dealer. And what I do during this time of year is I save all my junk, all my stuff that I don't think is good enough for me to sell to one of my consumers, and I sell it during this time because I know that the prices are going to be higher right now than any other time of year. A lot of other dealers know the same thing that I know, so what they do is they all hold off on their inventory and then bring it today. So you see a lot of these independent dealers, there's more of these kind of cars here, and they're basically just trying to sucker another dealer into buying some of their junk. Now, if like some of these dealers have a mechanic shop or something like that, then these are some of the best cars to buy because it's stuff that I don't want to deal with. It's stuff that other car dealers don't want to deal with. But if they can put a motor, they can put a transmission in it, they can buy it cheap, then they can actually make a lot of money. But it's not time that I want to spend, and it's not time that a lot of these kind of dealers want to spend on these cars. And not to say that some of these cars aren't good, but I mean, independent dealers, if you can sell it, if it's a good car and you can sell it on your car lot, then why would it be here? You make way more money retailing a car. So most of these cars, not gonna say all of them, but most of these cars are sold by independent dealers, at least from my standpoint, not worth buying, not worth even looking at, because I know if they can't sell it on their lot, why would I be able to sell it on my lot? All right, let's check this thing. I mean, I get a lot of questions about Subarus a lot, Subaru market. We actually sell a lot of Subarus. Very popular cars. This is 2014. It's got 104,000 miles. I think it's a Crosstrek. Is that the smaller body style? We'll go look. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is a Crosstrek. Subaru Crosstrek. Yep. XV, whatever that means on it. Looks good. Outside body, I think is good. Needs a wash. It's got a couple little dings here and there. Overall though, pretty good. Let's check the inside of it.
All right, here's the 2014 Subaru. Trying to start at 8,000. No bids. That finger he's holding up means $6,000. Trying to get somebody to bid on it. Drop down to 5,000. I think he's got a bid at 5,000.
Oh, and inside, not great. Needs to be cleaned up. Seats are not torn up. You know what? I don't see any dog hair though. That's a oh no, there's dog hair down there. Oh, we've got to find the dog. Yep, plenty of dog hair. A Subaru is not a Subaru without dog hair. All right, but we'll go in. We'll check, see what a dealer's going to pay for this.
It's going to roll out. Still bidding on it. Yep, it's out. Still bidding on it. 51, 52. No, we're still at 51 actually. No more bids. That fist he's got holding up means he's got the highest bid. I'm surprised there's not more bids on that car. There we go. 52, 53, 54, 55. Yeah, somebody was dragging their feet. Up to 5,700 right now. We got $5,700. They put on fall call. If bid.
All right, so the way this works is that they have 2 lanes in there, but the cars get lined up out here. You see one that's rolling in right now. We got this one sitting out here. We'll have another one come and line itself up with this car in just a minute. But the way this works out is that they will do that before they're running through the auction. And this is where the smart car dealer, where me or Alex will actually come out here. We'll look at the car so we're not in all that chaos, all that noise. We'll look at the lights on the dash from here. We'll make sure the car's not overheating, so no one's sitting right here. We'll come out here, check it, make sure there's no sounds, no misses, nothing, no knocking, stuff like that. You can see this one right here is an Impala, and it is starting to overheat. So this is going to be one that if I didn't check this out before it went through the auction, when it was running out here, because they're already getting warm, they've been running out there in the lane, in the lot for a little bit, then I could have missed. And we know that we definitely don't want to be buying this Impala right here because probably a head gasket issue. So we want to avoid that one. So I just talked to a buddy of mine, and he said he went to a car auction this morning, and they got hit by tax time too. So he's usually never at this auction, but the reason why he came here, car alarm, there he goes, it's off, because he wasn't able to buy anything this morning. He said he was paying stupid prices for cars, or bidding stupid prices for the cars that he wanted, and he was not even $500 close to any of these cars. So if he bid $5,000 on a car and he thinks that's stupid money on it, it was bringing over 5,500 bucks. So he's here trying to buy some cars, and probably going to be the same thing. But what he said was, I mean, same thing I've been saying for a long time. He said, okay, it's probably going to last for another 2 weeks, or it's going to be stupid, and we're trying to figure out where to find cars. But in about April or so, when everything's settled down, we'll be able to go in and steal cars. And what he said is because a lot of these guys they're buying right now, they're going to fill up their lots, and they're not going to be able to sell stuff. So that's exactly what I've been talking to you about. I heard it from another dealer. He knows the same thing that I do. But if you need cars right now, as a car dealer, it's the wrong time, and we're going to see it. We're going to see it today. Yep, here's a Honda, and this is not uncommon for me to see. It's got 304,000 miles. We're going to see tons of Hondas, tons of Toyotas that have 300,000 miles pop out of the auctions, but not many other car brands can really say that. At least from my eyes, what I can see when I'm going to these auctions, don't see a lot with 300,000 miles. But Hondas and Toyotas, I actually see that all the time.
Here's a RAV4. I didn't check it outside, but when you look at it here, it's a 2015. It's got 124,000 miles. Trying to start at $7,000, no bids. Got $4,000, money going up now. 4,000, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 5,000, 5,000, it's rolling out, still bid on it. Up to 5,400 now. Up to 56, 57, 58, 59. Can you understand what he's saying? He's up to 6,500. Up to 6,600. Got 6,700, 6,700.
So it's now a few days after that auction that you just saw in this video, and I want to take a little time to reflect about what actually happened. What I thought was going to happen and what the actual auction owner that you saw that I talked to thought was going to happen was that, okay, everything was going to be sold and was going to be sold on the block. And in my opinion, all the cars that went through the lane that I showed you, with the high prices, I was also expecting all the cars to be sold. And just about every car you saw in this video was put on a if bid, on a phone call. And for those of you that don't know what it is, it means that a seller had a reserve that was up here, and the bidder only went up to like right under here. So it wasn't as much as the seller actually wanted to be able to sell it on the block. So what they do is the auction is then in charge of basically getting the deal done after the fact. They call it a phone call because the auction will call the seller and say, okay, well, it brought this much. I know you wanted it to bring a little bit more, but can you come down on your price a little bit? And usually the seller will say, well, I can't really go down that much, but I can go down a little bit. So then the auction will call the buyer and say, okay, well, the seller wouldn't come down to exactly what you wanted, but they came down a little bit. Will you take it? And usually the deals get done. My estimation is that with these cars bringing these crazy prices that you just saw, most of the deals probably got done. This is a good auction. They work really well with the buyers, really well with the sellers. They'll do whatever they need to do to get the deal done. So I would assume all of those deals, or at least most of them, probably got done. But it's a weird scenario where these cars are bringing a lot of money, a lot of bidders there, and you see a lot of if bids, a lot of phone calls. And what that tells me is that these sellers were anticipating, with tax time being here, that these cars were going to bring a lot more money than they actually brought in the lane. And so they had very high reserves on these cars. And it just might be a factor of, okay, maybe these sellers are a little bit too greedy still right now, and they're not wanting to move off their cars, and they've even raised their prices just a little bit on the wholesale level because they anticipate what a lot of other dealers anticipate, is that prices move up during this time of year. So maybe they moved up their reserves quite a bit, and that's why a lot of these deals didn't get done in lane. Probably a lot of these sellers are going to figure it out, though, when they have a lot of if bids going through, that, okay, maybe we're just priced just a little bit too high, and they'll probably end up just selling it. Like I said, good auction. They'll get deals done. But anyway, something for us to pay attention to over the next couple months as we see tax time move through, and now we start to see hopefully prices come down in the next couple weeks again after this big high of tax season. So that's something we're going to watch. Make sure you're subscribed.